On India Upfront, I'm going to tell you a story that will prompt some fundamental questions. Yes, some fundamental questions. Is there endemic discrimination against Hindus in Bharat, in Hindustan, in India? Does the so-called secular state treat the majority community as second-class citizens? Has vote bank politics, fueled by appeasement, crossed all Lakshman Rekhas? Is vote bank appeasement spawning a feeling of resentment among the majority community, among Hindus, viewers? Why am I showing you these three pictures on your screens tonight? Viewers, Hindus are barred from managing their own temples for fear that they will loot them. Yes, they're not trusted, viewers, with managing their own temples. There is no such bar on any other religion in this country. Hindus are blocked from reclaiming their mandirs in the garb of protecting communal amity. Yes, viewers, barred from even one of the holiest sites, like the Kashi Vishwanath temple, which is in the Gyanvapi complex, because a mosque stands there. There are several such examples. The courts almost exclusively codify Hindu religious laws while making exceptions for other faiths. I'm asking you to ponder these questions because in what can only be described as the clearest example of bias against Hindus, even their most visible cultural symbols like the Mangalsutra and Kangans are being cancelled today in our society. A storm is raging in Telangana's Adilabad. These visuals from a state services examination center show how women, Hindu women, were asked to remove their Mangalsutras, bangles, earrings, anklets. But women in burqas were not stopped. After a massive outcry, and justifiably so, by the aspirants themselves for the unfair, unequal treatment being meted out to them, the police were forced to step in and reverse their own arbitrary orders. Now listen to those who were discriminated against. They are obviously upset, viewers, and they will tell you about their subjugation, their humiliation, their reduction to second-class status. Listen to this.
My burqa is moving now. వాళ్ళకి
ఏమో కమ్మలు కూడా తీయమంటారు వాళ్ళైతే బుర్కేసుకొని గాజులు ఎవరైనా కొనుక్కుంటారా గాజులు తీయమంటారు.
Viewers, the state government there is led by Mr. KCR, who has aspirations of course, contesting the national elections. He's even renamed the TRS to BRS, Bharatiya Rashtriya Samiti. Now, if this man, viewers, cannot rise above his state's partiality to one community, how can he serve all the denomination, creeds, castes of this country? Just think about it, viewers. There is little sabka saath here, and let me explain. I don't speak in the air, viewers. I speak with the hard facts, and the reason I'm doing so is so that you are empowered with the truth and can come closer to the truth. Now, in Telangana, the TRS or the BRS, this national icon called KCR, has championed reservations for Muslims, viewers. Why only Muslims? We are hoping to get those answers from the TRS panelists in a short while. But remember, Article 15, viewers, of the Constitution forbids incentivizing any inequality on religious lines. Even the Supreme Court has struck down religion-based reservations. But the man who wants to replace Narendra Modi in 2024 forgets about the Supreme Court and the Constitution. Think about that. Several temples in Telangana are under state control. This is not just true of Telangana, viewers, it's true of a large number of Indian states, even those run by the BJP. But the fundamental question is, why only run Hindu temples? Apply the law equally. If the BRS, the TRS wants to access the funds of Hindus to use them for other activities, why not widen the corpus and extend it to other religions and denominations? Viewers, the TRS or the BRS even has a political understanding with the AIMIM, known for its sectarian outlook. Viewers, these are some of the facts. No wonder today there is a very big controversy raging, and it's not just raging, viewers, in Telangana. However, the principal players are there. Now, while the state government has denied any partiality shown to a specific community at the expense of the Hindu community, their own police and even the principal of the college have admitted to this discrimination. How does this work, viewers? Listen in.
అంటే నార్మల్ గా ఎంఆర్ఓ అంటే ఇనిషియల్ గా చెప్పారు అది వేసుకుని వెళ్ళొద్దు అని, కానీ పోలీసు వాళ్ళు వచ్చాక అలా ఏం లేదు అని చెప్పి చెప్పారు. అందరు అలో చేశారు మంగళసూత్రతోని. और ये जो हिंदू लड़कियां थी, ये लोगों को ऐसा मंगलसूत्र और ये सब कुछ निकालने के लिए बोला गया था पुलिस, ऐसे इंस्ट्रक्शंस कुछ थे क्या उनको?
हम किसी का भी कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शन किसको नहीं बोले, वो ड्यूटी पूरा पुलिस वाले चले, पुलिस वाले करे.
अच्छा, फिर एग्जाम हॉल में इन लोगों को मंगलसूत्र के साथ अलाउ किया गया था क्या उस दिन?
हाँ, हम तो अंदर आने तो अब तो चेक नहीं करे, किसको है कि किसको नहीं कि हम तो नहीं देखे, वो बाहर चेक करके भेजा ऐसा है ना.
जी जी जी.
हाँ वैसा.
तो आपको कुछ पता चला कि ऐसा मंगलसूत्र नहीं था उनके?
नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से तो मेरे को पता नहीं है.
Viewers, it is often said, and mostly by opposition parties, that it is the political outlook of masters that informs the behavior of the police and other adjunct agencies. This is a charge that is made constantly against the BJP, that because the BJP thinks in a particular way, all the subordinate services also display the same outlook. Why can't that be applied here now, viewers, when the police, school authorities all admit to the discrimination? What is really troubling, viewers, is that somewhere the assumption is that Hindus are not trustworthy, that they will cheat, that they are cheats. Well, despite the admission by the principal and the SP of the area, and you just heard them, the TRS or the BRS Sarkar says Hindus were not discriminated against. Listen in.
About one particular center, and the Group 1 examination of Telangana State Public Service Commission was conducted in 1019 centers, and no issues have been reported anywhere in these rest of the 1018 centers. So Bharatiya Janata Party has picked up some selective videos and have circulated it.
They're brazening it out, viewers. They're brazening it out. It doesn't matter 1, 2, 3. As I told you, there are some policies that have been very publicly espoused by the TRS, BRS government there. And let me tell you, Viewers, Hindus have been reduced to a second-class status. I'm not even talking about Muslim majority Kashmir, where they are exterminated by various actors for their faith. I'm talking about other states in the unions. Hindus are not allowed to manage their own mandirs. Yes, viewers, secular state manages mandirs to stop temple loot. That's the ostensible reason. The examples are many. Tirupati, Vaishno Devi, Shani Shignapur. Viewers, Hindu religious affairs are managed by non-Hindus. In 2017, a Muslim Neta made Tarkeshwar temple board head. After massive outrage, the TMC government was forced to revoke this order. I'm talking about Bengal here, viewers. Selective interventions by court in codifying the Hindu faith. Courts preside on Hindu faith. Muslims have their own personal law. There are several examples. Let's press the continue button, Nizam Bhai, on that graphic. Let's press it. Let's move on. For example, the SC order on the Hindu Succession Act. They are barred. Hindus are barred from reclaiming places of worship. 1991 Act predominantly curbs Hindus from reclaiming their places of worship. There are many examples. Krishna Janambhoomi, Kashi Vishwanath are in the news. Hindu festivities are in isolation, proscribed by states and by court. Many occasions. Cracker bans on Diwali, even though the cause of pollution, for example, in Delhi, lies in Punjab. 2017, no permit for Durga immersion during Muharram in Bengal. The courts had to step in. Hindu prayers are stigmatized as war cries. Jai Shri Ram has become a provocative war cry for some viewers. People shake when they hear people saying Jai Shri Ram. Let's open this up. Let's pose some questions. The question that I began with. Let me begin by asking the TRS spokesperson, Bachchu Srinivas. Mr. Srinivas, good evening. Good evening. I hope you can hear me. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Why is it that the integrity of Hindus was doubted above and beyond that of other communities, sir, in this examination center? Why, instead of an apology, is your party today brazening this out? Why is it that you have chosen to give quotas to one denomination and not all? Why is it that you had a political understanding with the AIMM, which is a, unfortunately, sectarian party? Why, sir? There are several other examples.
See, what exactly you would like to ask me? I didn't understand you.
It's difficult to sometimes understand me. It's difficult because you'll have to undo a lot of internalized knowledge that you have taken up, sir. So these questions will go above you.
One thing I would like to, one information I would like to give you at this moment. Out of, for the sake of 553 posts, there are 2.9 lakh people have attended the exam. This is one center complaint which you have a clipping of one center from 3 people. Out of 3 lakhs, 3 people's clipping of one particular party trolled in from the WhatsApp university. This is made by them. Correct?
WhatsApp university? Is that the university that was conducting this exam? I'm a bit confused tonight. Okay, we've lost.
We don't have any.
We've lost the TRS.
We don't have any kind of difference between.
Sir, can I ask you, Mr. Srinivas? Can I ask you a specific question tonight? If you allow me.
Yes. Please.
Why did you advocate quotas for Muslims?
Which quota?
Okay, now we have actually a problem, viewers, because we have an individual who's going to deny on record, and I'm going to have to produce the statements on record which will disprove him. And then we are going to have a familiar backtracking where I will be accused of being an agent of a particular party, taking up a particular cause to attack an opposition party. I know how this works. But sir, till you try recalling, Mr. Srinivas, what I am referring to, I'll give you some time. Let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, it might be one center today. It might even be 3 or 5 or 6 people today. But the fact is that there is a feeling that Hindus are not trusted to mind their own affairs, that there is some endemic, institutionalized discrimination. Do you share this?
Rahul, first of all, I would like to castigate you and tell you that you're clearly wrong, because this was obviously a mistake when the authorities allowed the burqa but banned the Mangalsutra, because they should have banned the bindi too. How dare they allow Hindus to flaunt their identity? I mean, this is a Hindu Rashtra, and let us be very clear. Why are Hindus allowed to be citizens at all now? And secondly, I must castigate you because you've called them as second-class citizens. I'm sorry, wrong. Why have you taken away 6 other classes away from the Hindus? They are not second-class citizens. They are 8th-class citizens. Now, let me explain why. Let me give you 8 reasons why Hindus are not second-class citizens, but 8th-class citizens. Number 1, Kashmiri Hindus like you, forced to be refugees in their own land. That one can settle 40,000 Rohingyas in Jammu and Kashmir, but not 7 lakh Kashmiri Hindus, the land's original inhabitants, raped, murdered, pillaged, ethnically cleansed, and then 30 years later, the Supreme Court says it is too late to prosecute the perpetrators. Second reason, Hindu temples being exclusively controlled by the state. Hindus have to beg for Waqf's land to celebrate their own festival, Ganesh Chaturthi, when the government has usurped hundreds of thousands of acres of temple land and is responsible for more than 100,000 temples losing lakhs of crores in rental income. 3, the draconian RTE Act that goes against the Constitution of India and that discriminates against Hindus and their schools. Number 4, state-sponsored publications, textbooks, naming roads and cities, organizing of festivals that eulogize monsters like Aurangzeb and Tipu who perpetrated large-scale Hindu genocide. 5th reason, the drafted communal violence bill, where only the majority, i.e. Hindus, would have been held guilty in a communal riot, even if they were in a minority, for example, in Kashmir. 6, court judgments like the flawed Sabrimala and legislative enactments like the Hindu Code Bill that exclusively purport to reform only Hindu religious practices, but dare not touch practice of other religions. And if they do, the decisions are promptly reversed, like in Shah Bano 7, the barbaric 1991 Places of Worship Act that denies cruelly the Hindus their legitimate right to correct historical injustices and reclaim thousands of demolished temples. Now 8th, the draconian Waqf Act, where a Hindu's property can be usurped and the Hindu can be unilaterally called an encroacher. So these are the 8 reasons, and please don't call them second-class citizens. They are 8th-class citizens. And the sooner we call this an Islamic Republic of India, the better it would be for Hindus to realize this. And finally, did you see how cunningly the gentleman before me brought in statistical normalization to say only 3 centers barred Mangalsutra? Now, if I were to go by statistical normalization, I can also say that every year in India, there are 500,000 cattle trips. So if only 100 Muslims are lynched, it should be all right. It is statistically insignificant. This is the reason why nobody trusts people like these. They are weak not only in math, but also in science and in humanities, and they're wrong on every count.
Well, now, let me go back to Mr. Srinivas. Mr. Srinivas, I was talking about a quota that was promised to Muslims. Did you make that promise, yes or no?
We promised and we fulfilled.
Now you see they remember. The penny has dropped, viewers. It's amazing how much patience and how much giving someone the benefit of doubt actually works. You see, had I jumped down his throat, we would have had a deafening argument. We would not have heard the wonderful words of Dr. Ranganathan. And we would have ended up in a bitter confrontation. You might have noticed, viewers, I've stopped doing that. I give people now the benefit of doubt because they know that my facts hang over their heads like the proverbial guillotine. They stick their necks out and they lose them. Now, I'm not using terms that are used on the streets these days, please. So don't blame me. But viewers, the TRS said it will ensure 12% quota for Muslims. Letters were written by Mr. KCR, who is now aspiring to replace Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister in the next 2 years. He is going to be taking his movement nationwide. And he said, I have appealed, quoting him, I have appealed to PM Narendra Modi to incorporate 12% reservation for minorities in the 9th schedule of the Constitution to overcome legal hurdles. The Supreme Court has imposed a 50% ceiling on reservations on the lines of Tamil Nadu, which has been providing 69% reservations. Deputy Chief Minister, caretaker Deputy Chief Minister Muhammad Mahmood Ali had made it clear, and I am now reading out from the Hindu, a revered newspaper of all those who believe that every other media house doesn't get it right. So, viewers, the caretaker Deputy Chief Minister Muhammad Mahmood Ali, November 10th, 2018, had made it clear that his party will abide by the implementation of a 12% reservation for Muslims in education and employment. And employment, viewers. Not just education, but also employment, and will intensify its efforts after the elections and formation of a new government. Now, viewers, you tell me, why should this be the case? When it is expressly barred by the Supreme Court, when the Constitution of this country makes it clear. And therefore, I ask that question, has appeasement now crossed all Lakshman Rekhas? Rahul Ishwar, would you like to take this question?
I guess I'm audible. There are 2 points, and Rahul Shivshankar, you rightly used a very intelligent word called subjugation. Let us be honest about it. There is an institutional subjugation of the Hindu community for long, and that institutional subjugation is termed as secularism. And I know I am a great voucher of Hindu-Muslim unity, but whatever is given to Muslim community is branded as secular. And whenever Hindu community is subjugated, it is, branded as secular. So as you rightly pointed out, as Anandji has rightly pointed out in many times, the Hindus are not given control over their temples, whereas Muslim and Christian and other communities have their rights. So Hindu community, when they are institutionally discriminated, we take some kind of pride in saying that it is all okay. And what happened today is horrible and horrendous. And Mangalsutra is such a personal or individual thought of a woman, affair or woman's personal spiritual, and she is told to take that off, and nobody is condemning. Had the same thing happened to our Muslim community, just let us take an example. Had the same thing happened to any other community, there would have been an outcry. So the core point here is Hinduism has become some kind of a tool to oppress, subjugate Hindus and take pride in that fact. Whereas whatever benefits or goods are given to Muslim community is also branded secular. So this perverse sense of secularism should not be there. See, this has become a kind of norm. And whenever, as you rightly pointed out earlier, the Supreme Court has explicitly barred that reservation cannot be in the name of a religion. But since for the Muslim vote, that as Muslim vote, more of the en masse vote rather than the disunited Hindus, there is always a tendency for secular politicians to reach out for their notes and votes. This is an obvious reality of Indian politics which I doubt anybody can debate and dispute. But we don't have the intellectual honesty to say that it is such, and many people will go around sugarcoating in so many other things. I'm happy that you have called out in open. We need to redefine secularism, reimagine secularism, and give new explanations what is meant by secularism.
Well, that's a very valid point. Rashid Khan of the Congress comes into the debate now. So doesn't the discrimination expose an inherent mistrust of the Hindu community itself? Doesn't it expose a deep endemic bias of the community itself? And let me tell you, if this wasn't the case, the Congress in 1991, the P.V. Narasimha Rao government would not have walked completely over the constitution and denied Hindus the basic rights that devolve upon them to pray, to practice their religious faith by coming up with the Places of Worship Act. What was the genesis of this? When, especially just 5 years earlier, you benefited a large number of Muslim conservatives by overturning the Shah Bano order. You see the juxtaposition, Rashid Khan Saab?
Rahul, right now, this is not the time to discuss all those things.
Okay.
Let's discuss about the situation in Telangana right now. BJP wants to polarize. Completely BJP wants to polarize. And BJP leaders are attacking TRS party, stating that TRS party is involved in complete minority appeasement. This is absolutely fake. Because TRS can never favor Muslims and can never talk in favor of Muslims. TRS party is backstabber of minorities. Since the day KCR has come in power, we have lost 9 mosques. 8 Ashokhana has been demolished. What about 12% reservation? What about judicial power to Waqf board? Our minority budget has been misused. No loans have been given.
At least you have a budget.
At least you have a budget.
But here in Telangana, the budget of the temples is taken by the state.
Only
Okay.
6,000
But
crores
Rashid Khan Saab, even tonight, Rashid Khan tonight is also still abusing the BJP. Let me tell you, viewers. One second.
Polarizing the state. BJP is polarizing
Okay. The BJP did not bar these ladies and other members of the Hindu community from entering the exam hall. But listen to me, Rashid Khan Saab, 1 minute. I admire your fidelity to the cause.
Women coming from all the committees, they check equally.
Okay. I admire your defense.
And legal action should be taken.
Okay. Yes, Rashid Bhai, 2 minutes. I admire your vociferous defense of the secular cause. But let me just tell you that the gentleman today that you're giving a bit of benefit of the doubt to is a man called KCR, who called Rahul Gandhi, quote unquote, the biggest buffoon. These are his words, not mine. He called him the biggest buffoon. And let me again quote the Hindu for you.
He's the one who betrayed Sonia Gandhi. Telangana was
Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has described Congress President Rahul Gandhi, quote unquote, as the biggest buffoon in the country, unquote, and an asset to the Telangana Rashtriya Samiti.
Rahul, when KCR can backstab Sonia Gandhi...
So listen to me. I think Rashid Khan, it is in your interest today to tell us why you believe, it's a very important question, why you believe the BRS or the TRS aligns itself with the MIM, whose leader also calls the Congress horrible names.
Yes, but that's what the thing. When KCR has betrayed Sonia Gandhi, when KCR has betrayed minorities, when KCR has betrayed Congress party, he can utter any words.
And even betray the majority community. Okay. Bachchu Srinivas, how do you respond to Rashid Khan? You can betray anybody for power. Guru Prakash is also here with us, the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. I'm going to bring him in.
8 years.
Okay, 1 minute, Rashid Bhai, 1 second. Now, the other gentleman needs to speak. Bachchu Srinivas ji has been very monosyllabic today. He doesn't know what has hit him because I come at people with facts. So, Srinivas Saab, here the Congress, one of your secular brothers, is saying that you have crossed all limits of appeasement.
In what way we crossed our limits in this state? I didn't understand. They are not in the power since 10 years of time. Since 2014, they are far from the power, so they can speak lot of things. Here, MIM is associated with Congress.
Sir, we have a
Today they
record
are
of
claiming
8
lot of
years.
things.
What you have done, you have betrayed people of Telangana. KCR have betrayed the people of Telangana. What all he has promises, he is not up to his words. We know, we have statistics, we have data, we have everything in front of you.
Boss, you are from Congress, you are forgetting that what promises you have done in the last 60 years of time. You just remember, you are in the power, entire the state. Still the poverty is there. Still the illiteracy is there in this India.
Okay, one second, gentlemen. Viewers, isn't this delightful? Isn't this delightful when members of the ecosystem turn at each other and almost rip each other to shreds? Then you really know how hypocritical this ecosystem is. Then you really know that Times Now must be saying something absolutely spot on. But nonetheless, Mr. Guru Prakash, you are being accused of by Mr. Khan, the Congress party here, of jumping upon issues to blow them out of proportion, to polarize and create this sort of sense of Hindu victimhood. Could you respond?
The main agenda is Hindutva. That's what they are doing.
Agenda is Hindutva.
Rahulji, I really...
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Rahulji, we must understand that you cannot use polarization, consolidation and appeasement in the same sentence. This is really laughable from the Congress party saying that. And Congress party complaining of appeasement, am I hearing it right? Congress party is complaining of appeasement. It was the Congress party after independence that legitimized IUML. The Congress party validated Indian Union of Muslim League. Let me also quote Mr. Tajmul Hassan, the Constituent Assembly member from Patna. He said that there must not be any term called minority in India. There must not be any term called minority in India. How can you say that? You are the political party. You have, please have some patience. Please have some patience. We are living in a democracy, sir. Please have some patience. We are living in a democracy. Congress party complaining of appeasement is the biggest joke of the century. You brought a law against Shah Bano verdict. You banned Satanic Verses when nowhere in the world it was banned. Now Congress party is complaining of appeasement in our country. This is laughable. This is the biggest joke of the century. Please don't say that. 2007. Listen to it. Suniye bhaiya. Listen. Have some patience. Have some patience. No one was speaking while you were speaking. No one was speaking while you were speaking. No one was speaking while you were speaking. Have some patience. Have some patience. Shant ho jaiye.
Mr. Khan, listen to the other side.
Thoda dharya rakhiye. Nahi.
Listen to the other side. He is answering your question.
2007, Rahulji, 2007, Rahulji, Prime Minister of our country, Manmohan Singh said, on record, इस देश के संसाधनों पे 1 लाख मुसलमानों का है. If this is not appeasement, then what is? What is your definition of appeasement, Mr. Khan? Now you are accusing TRS of appeasement. This is the biggest joke of the century. जाकर के आत्मदन करिए.
Okay, please, gentlemen, 1 second. Mr. Khan, please. 1 second. Mr. Khan, 1 second. You can respond to... See, this is not right. Then I'll have to lower your fader. Then you will go crying to Mr. Jairam Ramesh. Then you will say that, look, Rahul Shivshankar stopped me from speaking. Then he will tweet. And then there will be more, you know, orchestrated chaos. So let's not do all of this, please. I'm very scared of Mr. Ramesh. He's got scathing observations he makes. Don't get me into trouble. I'm not blocking you. I'm asking you to speak, but let's have order on this debate, sir. Please. Please, sir. Yes, Mr. Guru Prakash, please answer the question. Why are you whipping up a sort of communal agenda in the state? That's the charge.
Rahulji. No, this is clearly beyond my comprehension, and the nation needs to know. The nation deserves to know that this is the heights of double standard and hypocrisy when a Congress leader is coming on a national television, a show of your repute, and is complaining of appeasement. when the Congress party is neck deep in this cancer of appeasement. Not since today, not since the last 1 decade, since after independence. You validate IUML, you validate AIMPLB, you bring a law against the Shah Bano verdict, you ban Satanic Verses. Your Prime Minister says कि भारत की संसाधनों पे 1 लाख मुसलमानों का है. Now who are you?
Okay.
What is your local standard?
Rashid Khan, at least don't appease. Please don't appease. Forget about anyone else. At least don't appease the TRS tonight. That is not in your interest. Or the BRS. Don't appease them. Forget about anyone else. At least today, say what you really should be saying. That yes, the pictures that we are seeing are a symptom of a larger malaise. Call it out, sir. Have the courage of conviction.
No, Rahul,
No.
right now, what BJP is doing? What you tell me what BJP is doing in Telangana?
Right.
BJP is completely polarizing just because Mungur by-election is very nearby.
Okay.
And Bandi Sanjay, president of BJP, Telangana BJP, says that we have to dig mosque. If we find shivling, give that shivling to us. And if you find dead bodies, keep the dead bodies with you. What is this? In executive meeting, Amit Shah comes and tells that if BJP comes in power in Telangana, he will strike off 4% Muslim reservation. What is this?
Is it an entitlement?
BJP says that...
One second, let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan. This is absurd. I have never heard this, viewers. This is absurd. The Congress today... Okay, Mr. Khan, 1 second. So let me get this right. The Congress today, viewers, shredding the constitution, advocating religious quotas. Now, viewers, the last time religious quotas, and Dr. Ranganathan, you see, sometimes my history doesn't serve me well. Last time someone talked about religious quotas was before independence. And they actually got them because the malevolent British did not want to unify India, did not want to jodo India, it wanted to todo India. So how can Rahul Gandhi say that he wants to jodo India by advocating reservations on religious lines like Jinnah did? Please explain to me. I don't understand this, Dr. Ranganathan. I'm very confused tonight. I don't know what to do, what to say, who to say it to.
No, Rahul, as it is very difficult to understand Rahul Gandhi. You have to be from the same planet as he is from. But in any case, I'm a big fan of Rashid Khan Saab, because I must say this, that he is unabashed and unequivocally fights for the Congress's rights, and today is fighting with TRS or BRS. And as the meme goes, that Swamiji is saying, "Khoob lado, samapt kar do ek dusre ko." So the more the merrier. But here, I doubt whether Mr. Khan understands the concept of a secular state. In fact, it is scandalous that he is not asking for less appeasement. He's asking for more appeasement. So let me ask him a point-blank question, Mr. Khan. In your opinion, should the state government pay salaries to Maulvis? Yes or no?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Should the state government pay salaries to Maulvis? Yes or no?
Already the Waqf board is paying.
Already the Waqf board.
Already the Waqf board is paying.
Okay.
So what's so new in it?
What's new in
it? It is not the Waqf board, it is the government, as the case was in Bengal, Mr. Khan.
There's a work of minority department to pay salaries of Imam Sahab, Mausam Sahab. This is not only in Telangana. If you go to other states, even they are paying salaries to Imam Sahab and Mausam Sahab. So what's so wrong in it?
It's not. Nothing
there is nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong.
It's
okay.
not wrong.
What about the budget? The budget should be utilized properly. But since last 8 years, the budget has not been utilized properly.
Okay.
The budget has been misused. That's what I'm trying to tell.
Yeah, we should have given all the budget to the Maulvis. It should have been given to just about everybody who constitutes the base and core vote bank of the Congress. Okay, fair enough. One minute. Let me bring in Royden Roach. Royden Roach, let me ask you. Let Royden Roach Saab also speak. He's been waiting his turn. He's been very silent. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Royden Roach, do you believe that minority quotas will help in unifying the country, or do you believe that it will only exacerbate the discrimination, the sense of hurt being felt by the majority community, sir. Let me ask you. I can't hear you. I think you're on mute, sir. Yeah, please unmute yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening, Rahul. Good evening to everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Well, Rahul, to start with your question first about the quota being given to minorities, we already have a quota from very long of a 4% quota which is there for the Muslim minorities. And that continues. And later the Chief Minister agreed to increase it to 12% because let me quote very clearly, because we have areas in Telangana where we have the Muslims being deprived. You have the Muslims are deprived. On a study done, so let me complete. On a study done and verified clearly by the Chief Minister, he has come to the conclusion that these areas need to be developed. We need the people to be developed. See, when you start developing, educating people, then you'll have people with a broader mind and not having violence or like we used to have earlier in the old city. In the old city, like we used to have curfew every time, which is now not at all there. It just vanished. Why? Because we started development of education programs and other things still being given by the Honorable Chief Minister. See, I'll tell you one thing, Rahul, regarding this issue which happened exactly now, about people being asked to take out the Mangalsutra, let me tell you, out of the 1,019 centers, it is very clear and evident that it was only one center that happened. And the person who was there, the police official who was there, the lady also, she was not a Muslim. The lady herself was a Hindu, and even she was not given instruction by any higher officials to do this. It was very clear that it was not in, and it was not in actually the Mangalsutra to be taken off. There was something else with her which was asked to be removed. And on precaution measures, because last time we had an issue in schools, the same thing like in the school exams, how it was followed, people started taking out the ornaments and handing it over to their husbands. You can see women getting off the bikes and straightaway handing it over to their husband. It is not that they've been gone there and taken and this.
Okay, okay. Now let's not justify, sir. Let's not justify inequality. Had this been the other way around, remember, viewers, that the entire hijab row became a national. One second. The entire hijab became a national talking point because it happened in a few pre-university colleges in Karnataka. So that equivalence is conveniently forgotten, viewers. Conveniently forgotten. It became such a big issue. And if you really looked at it, how many students really got affected by it? Think about that, viewers. So, you know, this argument, as Dr. Ranganathan has pointed out, about using maths and the logic of maths is not going to work out. It's about a mindset. M remains the same. Mindset, not maths. Now, I want you two viewers just focus on what the Supreme Court said. And I'm taking you back to 2012. The Supreme Court expressed its displeasure and pulled up the government for its casual handling of the complex and sensitive issue of 4% sub-quota for minorities within the 27% reservation for OBCs in central education institutions like IITs. This quota was brought in and upheld by certain governments. The matter went to the Andhra Pradesh High Court. And the Supreme Court refused to stay the Andhra Pradesh High Court order which had quashed the central government notification for 4.5% sub-quota for minorities. A bench of Justices K.S. Radhakrishnan and J.S. Kehar said it was unhappy that the centre filed an appeal without any supporting documents, and it goes on and on, viewers, quite lengthily. And viewers, let me also tell you, it's very, very clear. When the Andhra Pradesh High Court struck down sub-quota for Muslims in 2012, while disposing of the petition on Monday, the special bench comprising Chief Justice, as I said, Lokur and Sanjay Kumar pointed out that the government order violates Article 15.1 and 16.2 of the Constitution, while Article 51 prevents state from discriminating against a citizen based on religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth or residence. Article 16.2 states that no discrimination on these grounds can be shown by the state in government recruitments or in the question of giving jobs. The very use of words belonging to minorities or for minorities indicates that the sub-quota has been carved out only on religious lines and not on any intelligible basis. That's what the Supreme Court says, viewers. Now, if parties are advocating for it, despite the Supreme Court's very clear stand on this issue, you know what they are doing. They are violating the basic principles of equity. Then you have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? Obviously for vote bank politics. Dr. Ranganathan, quick concluding remarks. I want to go on to the other big debate. Yes.
No, I just wanted to conclude by saying, Rahul, you have to have a kind of a larger picture out here, a perspective of what is happening, what has been happening for the last, not just 2 or 3 years, but for 80 years. Hinduism as we know it is being systematically dismantled. And I dare say Hinduism will cease to exist in maybe 100 years' time. Because now you see that the latest attack is on the front where people who convert from Hinduism, they should continue to get the quota, even though the other religions to which they have converted do not have this kind of caste system. So now there are people who are demanding that even if you convert, you maintain getting this quota. And if that is allowed, I'm afraid that is a death knell for Hinduism.
Well, that's the matter being heard by the Supreme Court even as we speak, viewers. So I'm not going to go down that route, but Dr. Ranganathan fundamentally painting a dire picture, and he's not inaccurate. I will move on, viewers.